Hello, and welcome back to another episode of Dear Diary. Now, you might be wondering, is there anything else or is there anything new that I can talk about? Because previously I talked about the Barnacle. So, as you can probably guess, it's a new week, which means a new day, which also means a new event. So, I don't know how to start this, but I feel like it's easier for me to put it to words now that I'm sitting down and recording this because I just want y'all to know that do not let anyone tell you any differently and do not let anyone put you down. This recording is going to be dedicated to those that feel like they are constantly being pressed down and they constantly feel like they need to adapt in order not to be pressured. Because I'm here to tell you that just be your own uniqueness, just be yourself, and do not let anyone tell you any differently. So, this is going to be a story of just how exactly I put the barnacle in his place because obviously he didn't know what the fuck he was talking about. And I hope that when you hear this story, you can understand that it is easy to fight back. It is only a choice. And part of the reason why you don't fight back is because you don't want to start anything. You think that you are better than it, and it's true. You are better than that person. You are better than who you think you are. However, there comes a time when you need to fight back. You need to stand your ground because you're no pushover and you deserve what you deserve. Now that I've got that out of the way, I'll begin the story by prefacing that I spent the whole weekend, before this previously, I spent the whole weekend meditating, praying, and just finding peace within myself because I could feel myself slowly start to have hatred again. And that hatred is not something I want to carry with me. I'm usually a type of person that hold something and then lets it go because I always take the high road and because I believe that there is a better path to certain things. There are better decisions. There are better things to look forward to. However, like I said, since I'm this type of person, it also means that it's actually quite easy for me to minus things out of my head because, as I previously said, it is easy for me to get it out of my head. And admittingly, even during the recording, I believe I've told you guys that I was very affected. So I didn't really want to think about it anymore. I just wanted to let it go. And so yesterday, when I went to school, I'm going to begin by saying like, before I went to school, the night before, I actually set up a little prayer. I asked whoever's out there to give me the strength and patience to make the right decision and to just be myself, just be my own uniqueness because I was so sick and tired of carrying this hatred with me. So that morning when I woke up, I opened the window and I saw this beautiful sunrise and I realized, okay, so this must be a sign and today is going to be a great day, essentially. So I went to school and I was happy. I met my best friend. I told her about this story of when I contracted COVID and it was a terrible experience. 10, I would not recommend. Honestly, would not recommend getting COVID. Like, it was such a terrible experience and I was laughing at her and I was laughing because it was really funny and we were in the middle of class and the lecturer was talking and this Barn, he came into the room with like a bunch of our other friends and he sat 3 rows behind me. So I was going to do my very best for the remainder of the semester or the remainder of the year for all I care to ignore him because I didn't want to look at him. I didn't want to talk to him. I just wanted to do my own thing. So during this time, the lecturer was actually showcasing our videos that we created, that all of us in the classroom created to for the assignment, right? So I sat down with my best friend and my best friend is sitting on my right? So I'm talking to her. And so when I turn to her, my eye can look up because I'm facing her. My eye can see who is behind me. So basically, I can see who is sitting behind me, and I can hear and see everything, like essentially. Okay, so I was just talking to her, and I was laughing. And while the lecturer was talking, I hear in the background, crystal clear, very directed. At least this video isn't disappointing. And if you want a little bit of context, essentially what happened last week was that after I was done editing the video, I posted a message in the chat group to my group members and I told them that I already edited the video, it's already submitted, and I told them the honest truth. I said that I was really disappointed. This is the most disappointed I've ever been. I hope in the future we can move forward and work together as a team. That's all I said. That's all I professed. Because honestly, I didn't point any fingers, because to me, in this situation, everyone was wrong, okay? Including myself, because I did not pay attention, because I didn't know that the video was like this, and that's why we only had 6 hours left to do it, in a way lah. So I just wanted to take responsibility. I wanted everyone to take responsibility so that we can move on. And so this Barn decides it was a good idea to insult me during class. And I'm gonna say this, but for the past few days, every single time that he sends a text message, or every single time he sends something in the chat group, it's very directed. Now, you might think that I might be overthinking, but I am not overthinking, because I've worked together with this guy 3 months during internship. So I know how he operates. I know how he talks. Because one, we used to be friends. I like to believe that we used to be friends. And I'm gonna give myself some credit. I observe a lot, and I can see right through his bullshit. So when he said that, I paused, because I was talking to my best friend, and I heard up there, the people up there laugh. Like, I heard the people up there start to laugh. And that's when I got really pissed off, because one, you're making fun of someone who already did the assignment, who didn't say anything, who didn't fight you, just submitted the assignment, confessed that they were irritated and disappointed that you didn't do the assignment properly, and just let it go. I didn't talk to him. I didn't ask him what he did wrong. I just did it, and it was already over. The fact that he had the nerve to bring it up to me just meant that the word disappointment must have really triggered him. So in that case, because he directed it at me, I was triggered too. Because like I said, that was the last straw. This pressure that I felt building inside me, it's been building since last year, because I've already had issues with this guy. Okay, I wanted to just, like I said, I wanted to let it go. I didn't want to think about it anymore, because there were other things to worry about. So at that moment, because I talked to my family over the weekend, and I told them like I was just tired and done, and so my dad told me, the next time he says something, you fight back. And so that's when I was like, okay, I didn't expect this to happen, but since I already have the green light from my dad, I was like, okay. So I turned around and I was like, what the fuck did you just say? And then there was this moment of silence when everyone, like all my group members, were like, whoa, what is happening? And so at that moment, I was already like, no, I'm not letting this go. I'm like, you do realize that sentence is directed at me, right? And then he paused. He's like, I don't know what you're talking about. I said, you know exactly what I'm talking about. Then I told him, I didn't do anything to you, so stop talking about me. I want you to leave me alone. That's what I told him. And then he tried to fight back, but at that point I was like, no, fuck it, I don't care anymore. So I turned around, and for the remainder of the class, I was boiling. I was seething, because in my head I'm like, how dare this fucker start something when I didn't even do anything, when I didn't even fight, when I didn't even report to the teacher what he did. Like, how dare this guy, who does he think he is, to think that he's so high and mighty that he's correct? Because at the end of the day, he still fucked up the assignment. As much as he says it, he still fucked up the assignment. So anyway, and then once class was over, or during class, some of my friends were asking me, are you okay? And it's obvious from my face that I wasn't okay. There were so many things that were happening in my head. Like, should I do something? What is the right decision here? What is it that I need to do here? Right? So there were so much things happening in my head at that moment, that when class was over, when all my group members left, I actually stopped for a while in front of the lecturers, and I asked my best friend, like, should I report to the teacher that this guy didn't do anything? And so my best friend was like, it's already over, okay? Like, there's no point in doing this anymore. Like, there's no, like, anything to do with it. You know, I'm just gonna say something here, because, like, this whole incident has taught me one thing, and that is, no one can support you, especially when they themselves are scared. Especially when they themselves don't want to get involved in this situation. And maturing is realizing that it's okay if some people don't have your back. So as long as you don't regret the things that you do, and so as long as you fight for the right things. So in this case, I knew that in my situation, almost everyone didn't want to fight. Almost everyone didn't want to get involved. And that wasn't something that was going to stop me, because in my opinion, if I let this go, he was going to keep doing it regardless. So in a way, this was me trying to set a boundary line. So I think to myself, I'm not going to receive any support. I'm not going to receive anything, because at the end of the day, no one wants to get involved. So I'm thinking, okay, never mind. I'm just going to go out and I'm going to talk to him. I'm going to talk to him nicely, and I'm going to talk to him politely, because I want this to be over with. So I waited for him. I asked our friends, where did he go? And they were like, he went to the toilet. Okay, so I waited. And then when he came up, he has the nerve to not look at me in the eye, to just talk like he doesn't care. And so I stopped him, and I was like, dude, I just want to ask, do you have a problem with me? in a very calm down tone, do you have a problem with me? And he looks at me, he's like, I don't have a problem with you. I don't know why you're so obsessed with me. And I'm like, what the fuck? When I tell you, I'm like, I'm trying to have a conversation with you, and the first thing that you say to my response is, why are you so obsessed with me? I'm like, what? Where the fuck did this obsession come from? Can you, okay, if you can see my face right now, I think you yourself will be gobsmacked, because honest to God, I was so shook, I actually stopped talking. I was like, what? Obsessed with you? And he's like, yeah, why are you so obsessed with me? I'm like, I'm not even talking about that. I'm talking about, do you have a problem with me? And then he was like, look, honestly, I don't care about you. I don't care about anything you say. Okay, I just don't understand why you're so obsessed with me. Dude, I'm trying to ask you if you have a problem with me. I don't see how this has anything to do with obsession. I don't see how this has anything to do with what you care. Okay? This is about your issue with me. So at that point, I was like, dude, I'm not obsessed with you. That's one. I'm trying to talk to you to fix this problem, because obviously it is a problem. And again, I'm going to keep saying the word obsess, because every single time I ask him a question, he always responds with, why are you so obsessed with me? This is the epitome of a narcissistic piece of shit, and also a narcissistic gaslighter. Because every time I ask him a question, he would turn it back and say, no, it's you. No, it's you. And then at that point, I was like, why are you gaslighting me? He's like, I'm not gaslighting you. And I'm like, oh my fucking God, you're doing it right now. I'm like, you're doing it right now. And not only that, when I tried to talk to him about like the situation, I told him like, dude, those words just now were really directed. I want to put this behind us. I don't want to talk about it anymore. And he's like, I don't want to talk about it anymore, but I don't know why you're talking about it. I'm like, what the fuck? Look, you do realize that every single word that I'm saying, he's like repeating it back to me, because there's no ammunition. There's nothing much that he can do. And at that point, I'm tired. I'm closing my eyes. I'm like squinting. I'm literally rubbing like the bridge of my nose, because I was like breathing, because I have no idea how do I continue with this? Like, how do I move forward from this guy that obviously doesn't want to listen? And not only that, I told him, let me talk, and he's like, yeah, I'm gonna let you talk. And I start something, and then he cuts me off. I'm like, what? How is this like talking? Like, and then I even told him, dude, you're cutting me off. How am I supposed to say anything? You're always cutting me off. I can't even talk. And then he's like, I'm not cutting you off. I asked him another question, it cut me off again. I'm like, what the fuck? Like, I was so confused. And not only that, he started bringing up what happened that day with the assignment. He told me, and he threw some of our friends under the bus. He said that our group leader at that time told him that I told her not to tell him. And I was like, I didn't say that. Since when did I say that? And he's like, I don't know, she told me. Then when she came out, I asked her, I never told you not to tell him. And she paused, and she looked at our friends, and then she started to laugh nervously. And so two things here. One, she either lied, or two, there was obviously a miscommunication here. So I told him that this is obviously a miscommunication, and he was like, I don't care if it's a miscommunication. I'm like, what the fuck? Then why? Then why are you so angry? Jesus fucking Christ. I'm like, why are you angry at me for being mad at you about the assignment? Shouldn't it be the other way around? What gave him the right to be angry at me when I clearly didn't do anything wrong? At the least, I don't do anything wrong. I didn't talk shit about him. I didn't do anything. He's the one that was constantly around me. So I told him, dude, for the remainder of the semester, I don't want you to look at me. I don't want you to speak to me. I just want you to leave me alone. And he said, I'm trying not to look at you. I'm trying not to talk to you. I'm like, what the fuck? Like, then you're still doing it regardless. Regardless. Then he brought up the fact that, why is it that you didn't tell me to re-edit the assignment? And then I told him, would you have re-edited the assignment if I asked you to? And he said, yes. I am the video editor. I am the video editor. You should have told me to re-edit the assignment. Then I stopped for a while. Then I said, okay, I admit, maybe I didn't tell you my expectations. Maybe I didn't tell you that you need to put subtitles. Then I paused. But, Barn, you're a communication student. You should know what video it is that we need. You should know that there needs to be subtitles, that there needs to be editing work. Then he paused, and he's like, I don't know why you're so obsessed with me. I'm like, what? How the fuck am I supposed to talk to this guy when every single little thing that I'm trying to say, he just says, why are you so obsessed with me? I feel like this is going to be the title of the video. Why are you so obsessed with me? I don't know. Why are you so obsessed with me? I don't fucking understand what's happening either, And at that point, I'm like, oh my God. So every single little thing that I'm saying right now, you clearly will not absolutely refuse to listen to me. So at that point, I'm like, okay, this is what we're gonna do. All right, we're gonna let it go. We're gonna end this. I told him that I worked together with you for the past 3 months. I'm sure there's this sense of professionalism between us. And he's like, I thought we could be professional too, but apparently you can't. I'm like, wow. this is my first time talking to you. I thought professionalism means putting it down and just moving on. Professionalism means not talking about me behind the class and thinking I won't listen. I have no idea anymore, man. I really got no idea. And at this point, I'm frustrated. I'm angry. I don't know why the fuck he does what he does. Somehow he threw my best friend under the bus by saying that, I was talking to your best friend that day. She said that I was waiting for you in campus. I'm like, you didn't tell me you were waiting for me at campus to do the work. You guys literally did your own thing. He told me that I ran away. I said, since when did I run away? I went home to do the work. You call that running away? It was so confusing. He said, I tried to talk to you that day. I'm like, you did not. You talked to my best friend. You didn't look at me. I was literally saying this, and he kept on deflecting. I even told him, when you were talking to my best friend, you do realize you were deflecting, right? You were telling her like this, edit the video, and that, and this, and that. Like, you guys know the whole story. I already told you the whole story. They were literally deflecting. There was nothing much you would say. And at that point, I think he also don't know what to say. Then he just threw his hands up and was like, I don't know why you're so obsessed with me. And then he walked towards our friends that were not involved because they were waiting for us, and he sat down in between them. I think that was supposed to be a show that he was done, but I wasn't done because I looked at him. I'm like, okay, you walk away like this, it makes it seem like I'm the bad guy. So I walked straight to him and I'm like, dude, look who's running away now. And he's sitting down and I'm standing in front of him, and I told him, you cannot honestly tell me that video that you submitted was gonna get us anything. That video is worth 25% of our assignment. You're telling me right now, you tell me right now, okay, that this video that you submitted was going to get us anything. True or not? And he was like, I don't know and I don't care. I'm like, what the fuck? At this point, he's deflecting, gaslighting. I'm frustrated. He obviously doesn't want to listen. And I do not regret this, but I started raising my voice and I started yelling at him. And yes, we were in public. Yes, maybe I should not have yelled at him, but certain people need to be yelled at, need to be scolded, to be put in their place, because this fucker obviously thinks he can fuck around and pretend like it's okay. And at this point, I'm like, okay, I'm gonna tell you everything that I wanted to tell you. I told him that assignment is not worth shit. I told him that, okay, let me just say it like this. Pretend you are him and I am me. So I'm telling him that assignment is worth nothing. You didn't do anything. I did the editing, I did the written assignment, I did all our assignments. You didn't do shit. Okay? That's what I said. This is our marks. This is my marks. This is my assignment. This is my scholarship. This is my father's money who put me in this university. I am not going to let you fucking ruin this for me. And I'm yelling. And I'm yelling so loud that he looks at me. He's like, why are you shouting at me? I'm shouting at you because I'm fucking pissed off. That's what I said back in response. And he was like, fine, okay, over already. I'm like, fine, okay. 1, stop talking shit about me behind my back, because I heard from some people that you're talking shit about me behind my back. 2, if you got a problem with me, if you got something to say, you say it in front of me, not in front of anyone else, in front of me. Do you understand? Silence. Then I repeated, do you understand? And he looked at me and he nodded. I'm like, okay. And after that, I walked away and my best friend followed me. When I tell you, that whole day, I was 1, shocked that I did that because I don't do that. 2, it felt so good, Jesus Christ. I don't know how to describe it, because this guy has been on my back for so many months. It is actually crazy. Every single little thing that I do, every single little thing that I choose, he's like there. Like, I don't know how to describe it. It is the other way around. He says that I'm obsessed with him, but it is definitely the other way around. He's definitely obsessed with me. I don't know why either. Like, I'm just going around doing my own thing, doing my own chores and shit. Because like for the past few weeks, right, I haven't talked to anyone. I haven't talked to any of their groups. I literally have just been hanging out with my best friend, having fun, looking at clothes, and just being usual casual girls. And here comes along this guy who thinks like he is correct just because I didn't tell him about the assignment. You see, at the end of the day, right, regardless of whether or not I didn't tell you about this assignment, you should have re-edited it regardless. If you knew that something is wrong, you should have done it. Why wait for me? And why are you mad that I am mad? You should be aware. You should be like understanding why I'm mad. There was no apology. He made it seem like this whole issue was my fault. I even told him the assignment passed up already. I don't know why we're still talking about this. He is the one that brought up the assignment. He is the one that brought up all these issues. I only wanted to tell him to stop being such a bitch. essentially. That's everything that I've told him about. I just don't understand why he's like that. And you know what? I don't want to understand. Now that I've set a boundary line, the next time he crosses it, I am not afraid to say stop, fucking stop. Because the next time he does it, that just means that he's wrong already. And I want all of our group mates to know that I am not a person to be messed with. At the end of the day, I did the assignment. I would like to say also, I'm a pretty good student, okay? If you want to be in my team, guarantee you're gonna get an A. If you want to be in his team, I don't fucking care. But do not, when it comes to assignments, when it comes to marks, when it comes to my career and my father's money that put me here, that he worked so hard to put me here for, right? I am not gonna let this fucker push me down. Which brings me to this. Now that you heard this whole story, and now that you're thinking to yourself, you wish you had that type of tenacity, you wish you had that type of will and power to shoot someone down. I just want to tell you, right, that this has been a long time coming. I didn't explode immediately. This is literally, I think, almost a year of keeping things quiet. Mind you, a year of this guy talking behind my back, telling people lies. This guy has been going around telling people lies, okay, and turning our friends against me. And again, I don't give a shit, because actions prove louder than words. There comes a time when the next time, or rather, if this happens again, say enough is enough. You set your line, you set your boundary. It doesn't matter what happens. So as long as you put that out there, I'm telling you, you will not regret it. Because 60, 70 years down the road, you're going to think back to this moment and you're going to tell yourself, damn, this is what made me who I am. Do not be afraid of being your own uniqueness, okay? Because after everything was over, right, I forgot to mention that a lot of our friends tried to stop me from like going off on him. And that's when I realized that, why are you stopping me when he is the one that fucked us over? Some people have told me it's because they were scared that it would get physical. And that's when I said, the fact that you think that it would get physical just means that you don't have enough maturity to understand that this was a conversation between adults. And obviously, if your first thinking is that we would throw hands, then that is definitely not an adult conversation. That is definitely not an adult maturity. This fucker needed to be put in that place. And if I needed to discipline him, if I needed to tell him that this is wrong, then so be it, because I don't care. So in this case, if you're in a situation where someone is constantly pressuring you, where you feel like no matter what you say, no matter what you do, you just want to say something and you're constantly being pressed down, and you hear people telling you, don't do it, it's not worth it. Yes, once, twice, 3 times. Maybe it's fine, let it go. But enough is enough. Especially when you're in a situation where you're in your degree and your own family. Example, if you're on student loan, you are there to study and you are there to get a career. You are there to set a better place for yourself. Do not let this fucker, who obviously, no offense, who likes to throw his money around, his daddy's money around, not even his money, who likes to throw his money around, do not let this guy step on you, because he will never understand the idea of struggle, the idea that life isn't handed to you on a silver platter. You need to earn it. And not only that, once you earn it, you will be richer, you will be better, and you will be much more greater than this fucker ever would be. Hard work beats geniuses, okay? Because it doesn't matter. And this, whoever, if you're in this situation, remember, always step up for yourself. Always analyze the problem. And when enough is enough. And in this case, enough was definitely enough. I'm probably going to spend the next few days literally regaining back my energy, because one, I never wanted to be this type of person. I never wanted to yell. I never wanted to confront. One, because it's not me, and it's an energy that is very negative. And once you start doing it, it will be very, very hard to stop, which is why like I didn't want to do it in the first place. But now that I've done it, I need to be very careful not to throw out anything else. And the thing is, so what? Call me a bitch in that moment. Yes, I am a bitch because my career is on the line. Okay, just saying. But the thing is, I'm only a bitch if you fuck me over. Everyone else was fine. Even after everything was over and I met these people in class, I was still okay with our friends. I didn't treat them like anything else. I just treat them like normal. Whereas this guy, obviously, fuck him. If you think I can pretend to be friends with him, you are wrong. I'm definitely not going to be involved anymore. You can do whatever the fuck you want. Even during next semester, if anyone asks whether they want to be in my group, I'll just say fuck you. Out, definitely out. I am better. My father taught me better. I get good results. And I'm very beautiful. So I don't know what the fuck you're saying when you say that I'm obsessed with you. He's fucking ugly, man. If I could give you a picture right now, I think you would understand. He is fucking ugly. Not only is he fucking ugly, he has a fucking ugly personality too. Like, Jesus Christ. No wonder. Ugh. To think he has the nerve to say that, Jesus Christ. Oh my god. Okay, one of the things that I hate the most about guys, not all men, yeah, but some guys, they think that just because they have money, just because they have this, they are the most handsomest people in the world. They're fucking ugly. Why is it that these people are always the ones that like that fucking think they rule the world or some shit? Okay, for all you beautiful girls and boys out there, if you're in a situation between a girl or a guy or whatever the fuck, or if you're in whatever type of situation, just remember, step up for yourself. You deserve better. Okay, do not let anyone tell you differently. Okay, and even if your best friend tells you don't fight, even if some people tell you it's not worth it, you think first. Deep down inside, you know this has affected you, and you know this person has no right affecting you, and you know he's not going to stop. So you set your bottom line so that next time he does it again, everyone around you already knows that this is your bottom line. He or she would have already fucked up regardless. You understand me? Okay, I know this episode, I feel like my life has been so chaotic lately because of this incident, but I have a feeling that after this everything will die down, because it's a small thing. It's a small thing. Honestly, it's a very small issue, and I can let it go. It's very small. In a few days' time, I'll probably be okay about it, because there's no worth in putting my time and effort into this. Because next week is going to be a pop quiz for my classes, and then the following week is going to be my final exam, and then I'm heading back home for 4 weeks for my semester break. And then after that, it's back to school. So I am excited to go home. I am excited for things to be over. Let me begin by saying I have never felt not glad. I don't know how to describe this. And it's not even satisfied. I have never felt more better than I felt now, because I finally stepped up for myself. I finally said something. Because all those years when people used to talk about me, all those years when friends used to backhand me, I always waited for karma. I always waited for some of these people to realize that they were wrong. And yes, taking the high road usually lasts long term. And if you take the short road, potentially you might ruin your reputation. But you need to trust in yourself, and you need to trust that you're doing the right thing. Okay? Like I said, do not let anyone tell you any differently. You are unique in your own way. And don't let a fucking twig tell you any differently. Jesus Christ. You got better things to deal with. You are in college or wherever you are. You're in school, you're in university, you're in college, your parents put you there, or if you're working on student loan, you put yourself there. You're not going to let anyone fuck that over for you. You hear me? Do not let anyone fuck you over, because they don't deserve it, and they need to be put in their place. If God doesn't want to give karma, then you dish karma, okay? I mean, respectfully, in a better place. Do not get physical about it, because that just means that you lost. So do not get physical about it. Fight verbally, and you'll be fine. For those people out there who are struggling, I hope this episode really helps you to understand certain things, and to just, like I said, be yourself. Be glad that you're alive. Be glad that you are who you are. Be glad that you are this majestic being, because there's no one else in this world but you. Okay? Okay, so that's it for all this episode. I've been talking for a while. I hope you guys really enjoyed this episode. I hope I hope this episode brought in some enlightenment for you, because it definitely has for me. And I really, really hope you continue being the best version of yourself every day for the rest of your life. So this is the end of the episode. Thank you guys so much for listening. I'll see you soon. Bye.